Binta, welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome. To
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome, everyone, to Character Room Africa. Today is Tuesday, 18th of November, 2025. We have 12 days to the end of November, and then we'll start the jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Hope we are ready for Christmas. I'm even thinking all the visits I'm going to make. Tunde Nachuku. To prepare something, prepare something. I'm showing down.
My wife,
Okay.
the general overseer of Character Room says you should prepare something, that she's coming to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
I not say tomorrow, I said Christmas.
Okay.
Oh my
Christmas.
God.
Good morning, ma.
Morning. Good morning.
Yes, ma. How are you today, ma?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
I say people should prepare for this Christmas. I'll show that Nashomolu we are doing this Christmas.
We have
Okay.
bought a bag of rice for only you. We'll cook it and you must finish it before you leave.
I know they eat rice, so everyone in Character Room knows I know they eat rice.
Okay, what do you want to eat?
You start with beans first, and then you prepare some other things.
Okay.
Beans, okay.
Pounded yam, come.
Do you want agidi?
No, I don't want pounded yam.
Agidi nko?
No.
Don't
worry, I'll send you my list. Then you start preparing.
Okay, if there's no pounded yam, then every other thing is easy. No problem, ma.
Okay, good. We've
It's only
settled.
pounded yam that is hard to prepare.
But please get bricklayer before you come, because by the time you get back to your house, your door will not accommodate you again. They will need to expand it. So that
No, we'll plan it well.
Okay, we are ready for you. Come.
Yes.
Come, and your life will not be the same again.
Actually, fast.
Don't mind him. Anyway, everyone, please, it's Christmas. We are preparing for Christmas. Start noting down the places and telling them early that you are showing up, so that they would not you just show up and say, oh, they did not give you this. Just tell them. I'm already telling all the people I'm going to visit. I don't know if we should go to Ife, but let's see how things go. I'm not traveling. I'll stay in Lagos. I'll be doing migration. I'm not cooking from 20th. No cooking anything. I'll just be going to different places. That's how Christmas.
Don't contradict your character, Flora. You have said you are coming in Christmas. If you don't come, I will show you Pepe in January in this room.
No, I'll come.
So everybody is there.
Maybe I said it openly, and even you two people. Yeah.
If you don't come, just be ready to excommunicate me in January.
I'll come. Once I said it, I'll come. All right, today we are looking at how to apologize without excusing yourself. A difficult one. Because oftentimes when we apologize, we put but. And it's easy. They say we should say, I'm sorry when you did something wrong. And then people now would use that as a way to continue doing what they are doing, because after all, I'll say I'm sorry. But then today we are going to explore how to say I'm sorry, because true apology requires courage, not buts. Once you start putting buts, you are now defending why you did not do that thing. And it makes you want to do, as in it's not that you want to do that thing again, because there's always something that you are adding. But it was your problem, but it was that. So if we have the courage to say, I'm sorry, or to apologize, it also, without putting all the circumstances and adding all the explanation, it helps us to also build the muscle not to do things wrong, because we don't have that leverage to say to explain ourselves oftentimes. In fact, it's a difficult one, but it's something that we need to learn how to do. oftentimes we would not get it right, but it's good that we learn how to do these things, just how to apologize to people without putting all the buts and all the explanations. So there's African wisdom that said that a broken relationship is not repaired with silence. Sometimes other people will say silence is golden, but then an African nowadays says a broken relationship is not repaired by silence, it's repaired with the truth. And what is that truth? And the truth that says I was wrong, and it stops there. I was wrong, and it stops there. Difficult, really, but it's something that we need to, keep learning. Somebody called me or sent me something, I can't remember who, and I said, I'm sorry, I forgot to listen or to call back, and that was it. I could have said, oh, I was in a meeting, oh, I had a bad day, this one. But if that, like, why do I need to do all the explanation? Because I was at fault, even though I forgot. If it's important to me, I would have maybe find time. But then also realizing that sometimes we don't do these things intentionally. I'm learning to just say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and then it ends there. So a real apology has no buts. But it's a difficult one, like I said, because we already wired to say sorry and to explain ourselves. The moment we put buts, we are no longer being accountable. You could also say why that thing happened, but then the but is not that you're defending yourself. The but is you're just stating, okay, this is why I did what I did. But it's not that you're trying to defend. So a few example is, sorry, I came late, but the traffic was bad. The question is, did you leave the home early? That's it. Did you call to say, oh, I'm running late? Because that's not apology. You are just giving them, you didn't plan it, but things happened. And once you notice that, okay, I can't make this, you will now say, reach out to the people to say, I'm running late or something happened, but you didn't plan that. So when you say, sorry, I came late, the traffic was bad. Did you leave home early? What time did you leave home? And when actually the traffic kept you on the way, please reach out to the people before the time. Another one is, sorry, I snapped at you, but you annoyed me. Yeah, we know you annoyed you, but then is that enough to snap? Or can you just say sorry and not taking the ownership of the sorry, but then giving it to the other person? You are the reason why I snapped you. I snapped at you. So it's not about me, it's about you. But you should also remember that someone else will be in that same situation and they will not snap. And they will just walk away or keep mute. So it's not about that person, it's about you. You are the one choosing to react that way. Because people will always annoy you, but what do you decide to do when they annoy you? You snap, you shout, you scream. A difficult task as well. But what can we do differently? Another one is, sorry, I missed the deadline, but I was overwhelmed. This one we say often. I was overwhelmed, I was tired. Yeah. And nobody is going to take that away from us. Yes, we are tired, but we can either just share this is how it is, or just go ahead and share. say, I'm sorry, I missed this. If there is any even need for you to say, I'm sorry, because sometimes we don't even need to apologize. But because we feel that's the only way to pacify people, we just start with, I'm sorry. It could be something that you just talk about because it's not your fault and you didn't do it intentionally. So some of these things are not really as apology. We are just wrapping ourselves in guilt and trying to manage the guilt. We did not do what we were supposed to do. And the next thing is, I'm sorry. I tried doing this. I tried doing that. This is a call for everyone, including me. We may sound polite to people, just saying, I'm sorry. But it takes away the trust gradually. It takes away the trust they have, not gradually. They will accept, yes, it's okay, that's fine, don't worry about it. But then the next time, they're not going to have that conversation with you that way. They're not going to open that opportunity for you. They will just not bother with doing that thing with you again. Because gradually, it's happening, especially when they know and you know the right thing to do, but you choose the one that is convenient for you. At the end of the day, you come back to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry do not heal relationships. There's another part of it when you say, I'm sorry, what happens next? You walk away, you go back to doing that thing. So growth requires that we stop protecting our ego and start taking responsibilities of what we did. It requires that it's not about saying, I'm sorry, and then you give all the excuses why you're sorry. It's about protecting who you are, defending, like from the onset. So before that thing happens and you are aware, you try to protect your interests. But even after that, taking responsibility makes all the difference, and ending it there makes all the difference. So the question I want to ask us so that we start the conversation, I'll just share the few things. Is, when you reflect around what has happened around you, maybe your own actions, what other people did that made you react that way. The question is, why do we feel the need to explain ourselves after apologizing? What are we protecting? And what are we afraid will happen if we admit we were wrong without defending ourselves? Critical questions. And as I'm even asking the question, I'm thinking about it. What would happen if I just said, I am sorry, truly, genuinely sorry, without actually apologizing for that? Actually, like, defending myself. I could just apologize, because if you get to a point where you apologize, because apology is very difficult, without you explaining yourself, it helps you to curtail the wrong things you do to people. Why do we feel the need to explain ourselves when apologizing? What are we protecting? And what are we afraid of when we admit? We admit that we did something wrong without actually explaining ourselves. Mr. Tunde Nachubu, go ahead.
Once again, good morning, everybody. And my global citizen, I haven't said good morning to you specially. So, good morning, Odubumi. This is a very difficult one. Very, very difficult. Madam Flora has taken it from one perspective. From another perspective, and using myself as a case study. For me, as a rule of the thumb, I do apologize a lot. And when I do that, I don't apologize. I may be wrong, but this is how I live my life. And I'm fine with it. Sometimes people wrong me, people make mistakes, and they are the one that's supposed to apologize, and they are full of themselves. Sometimes I just take the initiative to. There's a saying in Yoruba that call a madman the groom, so that you can have your way, so that you can go your way. For the sake of my own personal peace, because a number of times when we talk about searching yourself and looking for somebody that you have something against. Anybody can have anything against me, but I'm not sure I have anything against anybody. So to protect my own peace, especially for example, if I'm going on the road and a random person does anything wrong, it's not an offense for me. I take it that that's their own understanding. I just walk away. But when I'm talking about people in my circle, like my employees, my family member, those who are close to me in the church, if you're very important to me and I realize that you are someone that's by not like that's in my circle, and you are there. So when things happen between me and you, it's not for me. It's not about who is wrong or who is right. If you take initiative because also sometimes wrong or right can be relative. There's a particular place, is it in Nigeria or somewhere, where they say that when you go to meet them, when you go to greet them, a man will present his wife to a guest to have sex with as a kind of entertainment. In this part of the world, in most places, that's a taboo. But in that kind of a place, is their way of entertainment. So what am I trying to say? A number of times, there are differences in what you see as wrong and what the other person sees as wrong. There are some that are fundamental, but sometimes perspective might make all the difference. You think that somebody wronged you, and the person in his mind does not think is an offense. That's also another part of it. But for me, what I'm trying to say is that a number of times, what is actually very important is the intention. Sometimes, yes, there are times that people explain themselves for the sake of ego. But sometimes, or for me, a number of times, the explanation is genuine. Sometimes explanations can be genuine. It is not to defend or protect yourself. For example, if there is an issue between me and anybody, I'll come to you. I am coming to you. If I'm not interested in the relationship, sorry, I don't owe you any explanation, even if you think I'm wrong, because you telling me I'm wrong is your perspective. From my own perspective, I might not be wrong. So once I'm not wrong from my own perspective, if you expect me to apologize to you, if you now say this, and sometimes also you are telling me that I'm wrong, but I do not accept that I'm wrong. If I'm interested in the relationship, I may just say, oh, forgive me. That is the way I saw it. If I apologize and tell you that because you are counting the wrong and I don't think it's wrong, and I don't think what I have done is wrong, I can give you your apology since it's what you want. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes this can be quite complicated, but let me bring it home. the scripture says that let every man be persuaded in his mind. We all have a conscience. If your conscience tells you you are wrong, there is no need justifying your wrong. But if you think you're not wrong, because I've been in situations before where there are 10 people, all of them are saying I'm wrong, but in my mind, I'm not. And I will not just want to be defiant. And I just do what they want, especially if it is not something that I think I can't live without. But if it is something that I can live without, I'll just tell you, I'm sorry, I don't see the way you have seen it. So it can be complicated a number of times. But what is important, that what I think is important, and also the point that I also want to make is this: the fact that someone is explaining something does not always mean that the person is justifying the wrong. But there is another part of it that Flora didn't cover, and that is the word if. If somebody comes and say if, that is another one completely. But what I want to establish is this: once you're persuaded, once you're convinced you are in the wrong, there's nothing wrong about saying I'm sorry. If you must explain, let it be out of genuineness, not justifying what you have done. It's a two different. Oh, I'm sorry I did this. Oh, it was because I saw it this way. But the fact that I saw it that way does not mean I am right. But I'm truly sorry. If I knew better, I would have done better. So sometimes when we are explaining, let the explanation comes from contrition, from, oh, I own that, I know I goof. I use that word a lot. I know I goof. Forgive me. I'll do it better next time. But the tone is important. The motive is important. But we must be sure that if you are apologizing, be sure that you are really apologizing and you are not justifying your folly, your foolishness. Be sure that you are not. Be sure that you are not apologizing to also pass the buck, because sometimes people are apologizing and they are pushing the wrong to the other person. However, I think because a lot of times, I'm tired of fighting that battle. If anybody, when people will come and say if, you are talking and you are saying if, I think that word if should be taken off from apology completely. I wouldn't know if I make any sense, but I've sure said what I want to say.
Thank you for sharing. So you said something, and I wrote it in the chat. I said, if you're not wrong, why apologize? If you were not wrong, why apologize? So people are the one telling you that you did them wrong, and so you choose to apologize for doing them wrong. And then there's something we were taught in the about character and the leadership. When you say I'm sorry, before you start explanation, so the explanation should come because they needed it. They okay, what happened? Not you apologize and start explaining, you're defending yourself. But when you say I'm sorry, you are giving these people space to take it in, and then they will ask what happened. This is what we were expecting, and then you can explain. Then you are now trying to tell them, okay, this is what actually happened. But then you should allow that I'm sorry to sit in. So you don't sound as if, oh, I actually intended doing this and then it happened. I was going to come to that part. But what I'm trying to share about trying as much as possible not to defend ourselves. Because just like I always say here, people don't know what you have in mind. They are not reading you. They are not banjis. They are not trying to, they are not witches and monitoring you. They don't know what your intentions are. So it's the behavior that you show up that they are seeing. So when they want you to, so it's good that you apologize for the behavior that they are seeing. And then they will be the one to say, oh, I need more. I need more of this. Why did this happen? So you go ahead. This is difficult. Every time I'm being conscious about it. So you now go ahead and explain. Sometimes I just, it doesn't happen that way, but it's something that we'll learn about, asking for forgiveness and then allowing the other person to take it in. And then you now resolve, okay, we are going to have this conversation. It might not be immediately, because at the point where so let me use the example of, as Catholics, we go to confessions. So you go to confession and you tell God, oh, I did this, but God, you didn't provide me this. That's why I did that. I stole. But God, I was hungry. You didn't send somebody to help me. That was why. It doesn't work that way. The priest is not listening to your explanation on why you chose to annoy God because of this. It's just that I did this. And then it was when he's doing his absolution, he may not ask you further questions. Okay, what happened? Okay, have you talked to this person? Okay, this one and that one. But at the point of you sharing what you did, you are just telling, this is what I did. And then other things could come, them trying to understand what was the circumstance around it. So you're not just coming in to defend yourself. I stole, but it's because my mother did not give me money. That's why. Is she owing you? No. So, there was a conversation I had recently with someone who was angry at his father for at an older age, did not help them and all that. I said, did this man take care of you till you were 18, sent you to school and all that? He said, yes. So he's not owing you. He's done his obligation. Like at 18, you should stand on your own. Every other thing that he's doing it because he's a father. If you go to court, the court will ask you how old you are. And then you say you are 25 or 26. And I said, at this age, you should be fending for yourself. If your father chose to continue supporting you, that's his choice. Because now you are telling the world, you've gone to university, they've sent you to do this one, that one. You are still expecting him to be doing this one, doing that one. So what are you doing for yourself? That's feeling entitled. So it's just a way of me sharing that, sometimes people don't really owe us some of these things. We are the ones that, feel that, okay, the fact that I would say, I'm sorry, I need to add or back it up with something, not necessarily. Allow them to sit in with your sorry, and then you can now explain what happened. It gives them, it makes them not see that you are defending your action, especially like you said, if you had, or if I had, or if the world was better, I would have not compromised my integrity. A lot of things, but it's a difficult one. Any other person wants to share? It's a difficult call. I'm still learning it. Some days I will explain, but once I realize myself, you good talk, but you can just say, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry. I did this. Person can ask you for further explanation, but you take ownership of what you did. Very difficult, but we are learning every day. Any other contribution? So I think when we were taught how to say I'm sorry, a few things that I'm sorry, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done this, I did not follow through, that affected you, I am sorry, that's it. It's not why you did that. I apologize for my behavior. And also I wanted to point out, so somebody did something yesterday to me, and when I was thinking about it, there are two things. It's not about this person, it's about what she did. And so in my head, I was like, I do not like this behavior of yours. That's in my head. Not necessarily you, but you see this behavior. It's not okay at all. So taking the person away from it and just hammering on the behavior that the person did, because he could have done better and he has the opportunity to do better. So I'm not condemning him. I'm condemning what was done. No justification. We're not going to put any additional thing around it. So it's not about the length of time you spent explaining yourself. It's about the purity of intention. What I'm doing at this moment, I just need you to forgive me for doing you this wrong. Any questions, any reflection happening here? This is a tough call to everyone, but it's something we keep learning every day, learning how to just to ask for forgiveness. There is also something when we did one training like that, a white person said something about Blacks and Africans, that we apologize a lot. I'm sorry, I need this. I'm sorry, this one. I'm sorry. There's always I'm sorry, and then please. It's I think this person is American or something. There's always please in what we are saying. There's always I'm sorry, even in our emails. You know, that was when we learned about, you know, how to, you know, that you don't use I'm sorry via email. You could use I regret that this happened. You know, I forgot to respond, but not I am sorry via that. Once you say I'm sorry, you're already saying that you did wrong, even though that thing wasn't wrong. It's just because we are used to, I'm sorry, I'm writing this thing late, but the person said, I regret getting back at you or getting back to you now. You know, something like that. But we are learning every day. It's a difficult one, especially in a formal setting. How do we actually say things and not always apologizing? Anyway, any contributions? Ma, are you saying if we are wrong, we shouldn't apologize? Chineke me. Is that what I said? Okay, Emmanuel, where is that coming from? Where did you hear me say that?
No, check the second part of the message. I say that was a typo. So I said not wrong.
If you're not wrong, then why are you apologizing? If you didn't do anything wrong to somebody, why are you apologizing?
Okay, so I'm looking at it this way. When it comes to family and relationship, sometimes you find out that a family member is not talking to you and you don't even know the reason why. And in your head, you've thought in your head, racked your brain, and you can't just find a reason for why the person is not talking to you or keeping mali with you, and you go to the person to say, oh, maybe an elderly person, and you're telling the person, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did that will make you not want to talk to me again, but whatever it is, I don't know. Can you explain to me what I did and all that? So I don't know. Just like Mr. Tunde say, I think when relationships are important, when relationships are very important to you as a person, you always want to be the first to, when the connection or communication is not there, you always want to reach out to save that relationship. And it might just be you wanting to apologize first, even when you know you are not wrong.
No, you're not. Apologies that you did something wrong. You may not be in a good relationship with people, and you ask, please, can we have a conversation? It's not that you are saying, I'm sorry, meanwhile you did not do anything. Once you say, I'm sorry, you're accepting you did a wrong. And that's
Okay.
how the other person perceives it. You might not be in a good time with your, just like I think it was Ruth that said something one time about how his father and all that. What did I say? I didn't say go and apologize to your father. What did you do? I said open the door for conversation. Reach out to him. It's not about, it's not about sorry. So once you say I'm sorry, you are saying that you did something wrong. If a family member is not talking to you, it's not I am sorry that will solve the problem. Is guys, we need to talk about this. It's when you start the conversation, the person now says something about, oh, you did me wrong. You can now apologize. Yes, it's a norm here. We say, I'm sorry. That's the problem we have. And that's why people kept, like, it's easy for us to say, I'm sorry. That's the language. It's no longer about apology. It's the norm. It's our language in this part of the world. Because you will feel that once we say, I'm sorry, the person, but the people don't forgive. Even with the language, I'm sorry, but people don't actually forgive. It means that for you to actually open your mouth to say, I'm sorry, it means that you did something. We need to get to that point so that it's supposed to be a heavy word. And one of the things we learned from, I'm sorry, I'm bringing in the Catholic faith in terms of confession. The essence of it is not for you to go every day. It's for you to remember that it's difficult to actually go and tell somebody your sin. And you don't want to go and do that thing. That's another, like when we were, as a young child, we were, that thing, I don't know whether it's true, but they kept telling us about it. So when you remember, oh, if you did something, you're going to go and say, I'm sorry to Jesus, you better not do that. But if it becomes a regular word, it's no longer apology, it's a statement. And you're not asking for forgiveness. It's just a normal sentence. I'm sorry, but inside you, are you really apologizing? When you did not wrong somebody, why apologize? You could say, hey, I know you are not happy. Can we talk about this? But not that you are, what is, and then you start asking questions. Then you get to a point where this person is now telling you, oh, you did me wrong. And then you can apologize for doing the person wrong. And then the conversation already says, and you are seeing it, that you actually did something wrong here. But not when you intentionally did all the things that you did, and then later you come and tell the person, I'm sorry. Yeah. Tunde, go ahead. Emmanuel, I don't know if I'm making sense. But what I'm trying to drive is when you did not do anything wrong, even with family, even with a wife, you are not going to your wife to say, I'm sorry for not doing anything wrong. You can say, hey, babe, let's talk. What's wrong? Why is your face like this? Can we have a conversation? You know, you can get something, buy flour, buy things, and okay, let's go out. Let's just me and you, let's talk. So you're not taking a guilt of something you did not do. But then during conversation, she now points out something. Oh, I didn't see it that way. Oh, if that's how you saw it, I'm sorry. Because they are pointing out something you did, but not before. It makes you feel guilty for not doing anything. But if you know you actually did something, you need to apologize. Cindy, go ahead.
I didn't know that character room can be this quiet. Go and up. It's a very, very difficult conversation. Very difficult.
Yes, very.
These things, okay. You know that in this part of the world, I strongly believe that if people from different countries are taking, and a random person in Nigeria is also taking, and they run us through some DNA, some tests, there's a kind of a peculiarity about us from this part of the world. And that tells in quite a number of things that happened. Because when you look at it, religion, Christianity, Islam, Christianity is what I know. There is just a brand of Nigeria in whatever we do. Flora has spoken about our faith a number of times. And I think that this peculiarity reflects in loads of things we do and how we do what we do. The truth is this. I like to say, let's call a spade and not an agricultural implement. The truth is this. You see, even if you look at the word, I'm sorry, sorry. You see, those words have been bastardized in this part of the world. The way it is used, that it does not actually carry the depth of the meaning. There was a video I saw of a man who was trying to teach the daughter, a 3-4-year-old girl, how to say, I'm sorry. And after the man had taught the child how to say, I'm sorry, they went to a supermarket and a woman accidentally hit the child. And the woman refused to apologize. It was tough. At the end of the day, I think it was more like eclipse, a kind of, it wasn't real though. But what they were trying to teach was eventually the woman who refused to apologize to the young girl was arrested. And by the time the cops came, the woman eventually now said the I'm sorry she didn't want to say for so long. Now, what my perspective is this, and I would want to throw my weight behind Flora. People guilt trip us to say there is something called emotional blackmail, that people do what is wrong. And this happens between parents and their children a lot. And that's one thing I have conquered as a father. When I'm wrong, I apologize to the children. I am wrong. So I'm not going to apologize to now say it was because they did what was wrong. And once I apologize, that even if they did what was wrong, I should have handled it better. I love what Flora said initially, that even when people wrong you, people have wronged some other people worse. People have done worse things to some other people and they took it well. Just like when I deal with the people that work in my office, I have some very special, kind of human being in my office. But what I also say to myself is the fact that no matter what they do, if I am the person God wants me to be, everybody can do anything. It's just like my wife offending me. For me, it doesn't matter what my wife does against me. Once I have reacted in a particular way, I am wrong, because my faith tells me that there's something called fruit of the Spirit, fruit of the Holy Spirit, that when somebody wronged you, even at that, you don't have to react. So if somebody wronged you and you don't react, the person's conscience will tell the person that the person did this wrong. And the person would come to you later and say it's fine. So two things. Don't apologize when you know you are not wrong. And I will also put this there, and I used to do that. If I think I'm not wrong, and you come and tell me that I am wrong, I'll tell you, bro, I don't see the way you see it, though. But since I'm happy will make you happy, I'm sorry. I won't say it like that, though, that if I'm happy will make you happy. I won't say it like that. Of course, if you are someone who I want in my life, or if you are not someone I want in my life, you have come to say, sorry. You see, I said sorry now, because this sorry is not, I'm sorry. It's almost like an exclamation. Oh, I didn't see this. If that is the way you see it, I never saw it that way. I didn't think I did anything wrong. It is what it is. So you can carry your wahala and come and start to go. But what is important as God's children, or as human, is that we have a conscience, we have a rationality, we have the psychologists call something id, ego, and superego. We I have a dog now, and I am learning, the first time I'm keeping a dog, and I'm learning that these creatures too, they know what they are doing, because I'm seeing some things in the dog that, okay, don't do this, and that is what the dog wants to do. And I'm like, okay, really? So as human, we are created, at least, I don't think that there is anybody who feels that we are not created in the image of God, but at least all of us in this room believe that we are created in the image of God. We are rational being. Let every man be true to himself. Don't go and say things you don't mean. Don't go and manipulate people. While I was in the university, I was, in fact, if I have seen, if I have seen the definition of somebody who took so long to have some basic understandings of life, it is this guy called Tunde. Because I started playing back the way I behaved, because at that time my coin only had one side. You don't see the way I see it, get out. I may not tell you to get out, but it is just it. So even if I was wrong, it took a lot of time for me to come to the realization of a number of things. And even years, decades after, I had to call some of my mates that I met again, and some of them say they couldn't remember what I was talking about. But for me, I think I behaved very badly at that time, and I needed to just apologize. So be true to yourself. You can take yourself to a place in life where you are you are a very reasonable human being in all standards. And once you have gotten to that place, there are times the person does not need your apology. There are times you don't have any explanation to make to anybody. There are times you just have to walk away. So, but what's important is that anytime you need to do it, be sincere and be genuine. Don't go and do it and leave people worse than you met them. Don't go and guilt trip people. So it is, I am an apostle of introspection. I think this conversation should make us introspect, because I believe that, I know me. My level of self awareness is so high that it is almost hypersensitive. So once you are self aware, you know when you are wrong. You don't need anybody to tell you, even if it is a 1 year old child. And once you realize you are wrong, like it's said, just own up and go and apologize. Swallow your pride. It is not going to take you anywhere. And if you don't mean it, don't say it. Thank you.
Thank you. If you don't mean it, don't say it. If you did not wrong anybody, and till the person explains, okay, this is how I feel about it. And then you weigh it with her or him, and then, okay, if that's how you see it, I'm sorry. But not that you start apologizing without knowing what you actually did. Lots of people do that. They apologize without, so, and that I'm sorry, they will think it solved all the problem. I remember one other thing they taught us, I think that was when we did our Farah Leadership Center, was when you say, what are you, I'm sorry about? What are you apologizing for? Point that thing out. This is the particular thing I'm apologizing for. I'm sorry for not taking the plate to where it's supposed to be. I'm sorry for hanging up on you. I'm sorry, not I'm sorry. Because you might think that this person is angry for something else. And the thing you apologize is not even why. So when you say, I think they showed us one video at the time. I can't even remember actually what happened, but it's actually, couples. What the man apologized for was even different from what the woman, you should trust women now, was even different from what the woman was angry about. And so I'm sorry, thinking that it ends the situation. Her face is still gloomy and everything. She said, okay, I heard you. Well, she carried her wahala and be going. But that thing is still hurting her because he has not even apologized for the main thing. And so it's a conversational thing. You have to, speak with people to say, this thing is not working for me. And this is why you did, this is what I'm angry about. So they should apologize for that particular thing and not saying I'm sorry without touching the real thing that you're angry about. Patricia, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is a very thoughtful question. I remember years back, about almost 15 years now. My friend, we're in school together, and she kind of set me up in business. And fortunately and unfortunately, I lost the people I sold to because I was new in the business. I was selling to people on credit, more people on credit than the cash and carry. And as nature will have it, I misplaced my phone, my contact list. I couldn't reach them. Then the place I was living at the time I made the sales, I also moved out of that area. So there was no way I could reach those people again. And I told my husband, I said, see, what kind of a friend I am? Am I? A friend looked at me and said, let me set you up for business to do something while you get busy with a job in marriage. And then along the line, I misplaced her phone. Sir. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to give her back the report. I felt so bad in myself. And for months, for years, I couldn't talk. I just kept telling her, I'm sorry, Kemi, I'm sorry for this wrong I did. I didn't want to make an excuse for my action because it's not as if I had the funds to pay back. If I was to pay back, I won't pay back everything to like the expected amount that was to come. And then I just felt so bad about it. I just kept telling her, I just told her I'm sorry for you trusted me so much that we've been friends for years and this has happened. That wasn't so much of my it wasn't I didn't want to give the excuse. I was telling myself it wasn't so much of my fault, but I said, did she send me that one? She did not send me. Oh. All she's expecting is her funds back. And I just went to I said, I'm sorry. I was careless for my actions. I take responsibility for that. I wasn't so much of a good person in business. I've learned my lessons, and she was like, okay, she has heard. And for months, I gave her time to heal because I know it wasn't easy. And then when she healed, we started talking back. So, like on today's topic, it's really a food for thought. I try not to say sorry when I've not wronged you. But when I look at myself and tell myself, since this thing is bad, because looking at what the world is saying about character and relationship and how you relate with people in a public setting or in the family setting, you have to be careful of how you portray yourself and all that. So I tend to manage that word, I am sorry. Before I say it, I check myself, have I wronged you? Have I not wronged you? Then if I've wronged you, I'll tell you I'm sorry. So I that's my submission on that topic for today. It's a very touchy one. May God help us to get better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. God will help us. Sunday, go ahead. Sunday, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to, make a comment on. Patricia, have you eventually paid your friend?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay,
But it
okay.
won't be to the tune of what was given to me as at the time of the. It wasn't to the tune of what was given to me as at the time of the business.
But now, do you have you both actually reached an agreement that was fine, that what you paid out was fine?
Yes.
Okay,
We are fine.
okay, because it's
You said it.
important. Because sometimes some of
Okay.
us we are in that kind of a situation, and at the end of the day, we apologize and we just walk away from the money. Because I also had that kind of a situation with a friend then who loaned me 100,000. I think I was only able to pay back 40 or 60,000. Maybe I paid back 60, remains 40, or I paid back 40. I couldn't pay the remaining amount. I opened up a conversation, and we spoke about it, and I knew that she had decided that she walked away. In fact, after that, on my 50th, she gave me some money. So it's important. And if there's any other person in the room where you did a business with people and sincerely it went bad and you are still owing the people money, you should open conversation up and commit to paying them. And if they are the one that is going to tell you that, oh, you shouldn't pay again, let the decision come from them and not from you, saying that after all is not your fault. You will not say that like that. After all, it's not your fault that you are able to pay them. It is your fault, oh. And we should own up and go and pay back our debts. Paying back your debt is more important than you going to say you are sorry. Sorry does not pay debt, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Adeshala, please go ahead. Good
Good morning, everyone. I want to
morning.
raise concern on another part concerning this topic that we are not looking at. And the second part for me is that some people that wrong us, as it were, but they refuse to say sorry. They feel they are too big to say sorry. How do you deal with that part?
Okay. You can only account for yourself and not for other person. And sometimes we want closure. We want people to apologize, but they are not ready. The only thing you can do is to keep reminding them if there is an opportunity that you actually need to talk. But you can't force it on them. And just like we said yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't remember when we were saying we can't actually cut people off immediately, giving them permission to, come to the realization that they wronged us and they need to apologize, showing good behavior and not like you are really, there's something about people, yes, they wronged you. You are expecting them to say sorry. And instead of you living out that expectation but you are now angry. So when you see them, you're not talking, you're like, everybody's face is somehow. I think for me, the best way, you can't force people to do things, but you can get them to the conversational table and say, okay, let's talk. And if they are not ready, allow them to be ready. One of the things that we learned in psychology is that you can't get a mad person to heal until they realize that they are mad. Till then, no matter what you try to do, they will not, you are disturbing them. They will even be the one to say that you're mad, because they don't know what's happening to them. You need to get them to realize that they need to do this. But it's not your call. It's not your call. Your own is to, if there is any room for reconciliation, remind them, reach out to them. If they are not ready, allow them till they are ready. But not allowing them in terms of, oh, you guys are not talking intentionally. You might not throw a hug, at them, or just say, oh, you are now my friend. But you are also giving small room for when they are ready to come and have this conversation with you, because it's important that you are leaving the door for reconciliation. Igbo people say, there's one thing Igbo people say, Kuforo Meko. And my grandmother, because before now our family was separated, like every people doing things. My grandmother bought 2 dogs. She's late now. She bought 2 dogs and she called one Kuforo Meko. That means speak less for reconciliation day. That's that thing you want to say. Hold it, don't say too much, because there is also a space for reconciliation, so that you're not compromising or you're not compounding things. So she named one Kuforo Meko. That another one, the other dog is Mbojere. Mbojere means that at the end. So what she said was, you see, when I call these dogs Mbojere and Kuforo Meko, I'm reminding myself as the mother of children who are not in good terms that there's still room for reconciliation. And thank God they reconciled before she died. But she was intentional about the names of her dogs. Kuforo Meko, don't speak too much that it will continue hurting us. And then Mbojere, the end would always be better. Like at the end, everybody will be fine. So, sometimes grandmothers, mothers have a way of bringing their children together. And she wasn't forcing them to reconcile. She was like, I'm going to allow you people, when you are adults, you are grown. But at every point in time, I'm reminding you that you need to do this. I'm reminding you that you need to do this. I'm reminding you that you need to talk. If I come to Onitsha, I will go to this person's house. And from this person's house, I will go to the other person's house. So you people are ready to reconcile. And thank God they reconciled before she died. So it's also You can't force it on people to say sorry to you, but just leave the room for conversation when they are ready. Once in a while, you can reach out to say, I'm still looking forward for us to have this conversation. When you are ready, I'm here. Something like that. But there's little or nothing you can do with people, to be honest. Yeah, they are the ones who come to the realization that they also need this. It's not just you needing it. I know sometimes we ask for closure, but closure should speak to the inner part of us. It should be that we are allowing the other person to also be ready. And one of the things that I've learned recently is that loving somebody does not mean they should love you back. If you get to that point where you could love someone, but they not necessarily need to love you back, you are doing what the universe expects you to do. Love, respect. I told my student that respect is given and not earned. They said, no, that you have to earn it. If you don't earn it, this one, I said, no, you don't earn anything. You give people respect because it's due to them. So don't wait for them to earn what? What's there? So your lecturer made you angry. You're not going to say good morning. No. Your fellow classmates, you walk in and everybody is there. You just walk to your seat. You're not saying hi, because they need to earn it. How? You give what is due. You respect people, and then whatever comes out of it, they are also learning to reciprocate when they are ready. But it's not you as you start saying this one. So allow people to get to a point where they are ready for that kind to ask for forgiveness, but keep the doors open till they are ready. That's how I see it. Yeah, see, this life is a bit complicated, but we are learning every day to be better, to think less of ourselves, and not about the other person. It's just me. What am I doing? What am I doing in this situation? What is just me? What can I offer? What can I do better? And then allowing the other person to get to that point. And if I think there's one song, not song, is a spoken word by one man about love. That also talks about people. You could love someone, but they will not love you back. But allow love to grow in their hearts. But it doesn't grow, be contented that it has grown in you. I can't remember. I had that before. But it's something about, allowing people to grow. Yes, you love because love is given, but it's not compulsory that they love you back. If you try and they choose not to love you back, be contented that you gave love. Not for their sake, but because it's the right thing to do. And that's how God is with us. No matter what, He chose to be there. Not because we deserve it, but because that's who He's God. He chose to be here. Any other question? Tunde, is this your old hand or the new hand?
Sorry, it's old. Let me bring it down. It's old.
Okay. Any other contribution? Any other suggestions? Questions? Okay. It's we need to call it a day. Few other things that we need to learn. Thank God, Thursday we're also going to talk about forgiveness, and Augustina will be here to share with us as well. She's been on a journey of forgiveness, learning and reading, so a lot to share with us. So Thursday, please be here. Invite lots of people, and those family members or those people that you feel there's a lot to forgive and do all that with. You can send them invites, ask them to come in and see. That could be something that you will do to get them to where you are. All right, so a few things. State your fault clearly. and show that you understand what you did. When people want explanation, explain. Don't explain away. Just say this is what happened. You need to also acknowledge the impact of what you did to them and how it's affecting them. Oh, you not say, oh, this small thing I did to you, that's why you are doing like this. It could be small to you, but to them it means a lot. Use apologies. I'm sorry when you did something wrong. Don't add all the explanation till they ask for it, but let them sit in with the apology. Let it just, enter, and let them feel that you truly asked for forgiveness. And then another thing is offer a way forward. That is all about penance. What is a way forward? Am I going to do this thing again? Yes, I apologize for today, and tomorrow I'm going to do that thing again. It's not the way. The way forward is, I am sorry, this will not happen again, and move on, because you are intentional. The next time something similar is about to happen, you say, oh, I'm not in the position to ask for another forgiveness for this thing. I think it's only me that says something about David and how the relationship he had with God. And it will be like, I'm not going to, he couldn't do that thing twice. That particular sin, not the second time, because when he apologizes, when he says through the Psalms and says, God, forgive me my iniquity, he's saying that I'm not doing this again. I'm human. I could do all the other things, but this particular one is done. Okay? Stay quiet after apologizing. Allow the other person to respond without trying to rescue your image. When they respond, you can now offer explanation if they ask for it. If not, just build the relationship and let's move on. Promise of better way of handling relationships. And that will be all for today. Thanks everyone for being part of today's conversation. We are learning, we are growing. But one of the things I enjoy most now is there is nothing I cannot forgive. I could choose to keep my distance, but I'll forgive you and move on. All right, please let's learn to forgive and not do all the explanation that comes with it. Thanks everyone and have a good day. See you tomorrow at 7. Bye for now.